Hello everyone, look at that chatterbait. You know what we're doing today. We got perfect conditions for throwing a chatterbait, and so that's what we're going to be doing. It's fall fishing. You can see I've got my fingerless fleece gloves on. Those help a ton when the water temperatures start to drop and the air temperatures start to drop. You know, it's not a very nice day out here. There's no other boats fishing, it's just me. It's kind of cool. We're definitely headed into fall. You know, pretty soon it's going to be jerkbait and blade bait season. But right now I'm getting away with a chatterbait. And the key for me with a chatterbait is to have some wind, and it's even better when it's overcast skies, which is what we got here. And something hit it pretty hard. I think this was my second cast, and the reason it hit it hard was it's a smallmouth. They'll go after a chatterbait too, just like largemouth will. You just got to get it in front of them and have good conditions. That's the Elite Evo Chatterbait with a chatter spike trailer. His mouth's a little messed up. I wanted to see if there was anything wrong with him. He seems okay though. The chatter spike trailer doesn't look like much. Really doesn't. It just adds some bulk, some profile. And I put that one trailer on, I think a year ago. I'm still catching fish on it. And I cut them out of the video, but I caught as many pickerel on this trip as I did bass. And I'm still fishing the same trailer. You know, there's not a lot to it. It's just a spike, like the name says. So it doesn't really have a tail, doesn't have a paddle tail, anything like that. There's really nothing to rip off. It just tapers to a point and that's it. You know, eventually I'm just going to have to replace it. They'll dry out eventually. But, you know, for now, I'm still cooking. Still cooking with that same chatter spike trailer. There's another bass. And, you know, the way I'm fishing this, I have a fast retrieve. And I'm going to give it a few pops if I run into something. If I don't run into something, I'm going to give it a pop anyway. And try to change up my retrieve. And it doesn't have to be something extreme, you know. You can just pop it a little bit or hit that reel handle a little bit harder. You know, if you run into some grass, you definitely want to hit it hard. Try to clear that grass. Once the blade stops, and you can feel it when it stops thumping, that's when you know you need to hit it and try to get that blade going again. You can see the weeds on the line there. Now, he's not a very big bass, but it demonstrates the point. You know, I'm purposely running that chatterbait into some weeds and then popping it free. See that double pump there? Pop. I'm popping it free. I'm trying to change direction a little bit, change speed, change cadence, just do something different. And I kind of picture a bass following it, which they do a lot, and then that little pop, that little bump, that little double pump to get out of the weeds is often when they hit. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that I want to do, even if I'm not hitting weeds. See, you see that pop right before the fish ate it? That's what I'm trying to do. You know, some people, they'll fish a chatterbait like a jig, like on bottom. You know, I very rarely do that unless it's super, super cold. And then I, you know, would rather fish a blade bait than do something like that. I'm fishing a chatterbait fast. And they'll let you know. They'll let you know if they're into it. You need the right conditions. Like I said, you need wind. Overcast skies help. And they'll let you know if they're into it. And if they're not, you got to pick up something else. But once they start hitting it, well, you're in Lake Flynn. Now, if the bite slows down or the wind dies, I don't just give up. I go to the Elite Evo Miniax. It's just a downsized chatterbait and it works great. Out of the box, it's pretty good. I noticed that the painted blade chips after you catch a whole bunch of fish on it. But, you know, it's the painted blade's chipping because I'm catching a whole bunch of fish on it. I haven't replaced the stock snap yet. For most of the others I do. If I see that stock snap bending out, I'll replace it with a decoy egg snap. But so far, so good. You know, the fish seem to really like it. I like, you know, either glitter blades or darker blades rather than straight silver or gold. I feel like I catch more fish on them. But sometimes, you know, that flash, a little bit of flash can imitate a bait fish or something. It depends what the fish are feeding on. For this, I have a bluegill color pattern. I think this time of year, if I'm not seeing a lot of bait in the weeds, they're after bluegill. And I do see some bluegill in the weeds. I've got a 3.5-inch ChatterShad trailer on it. And that's a great trailer. I've been doing really well with it. It doesn't last quite as long as the Chatter Spike because it has a little tail. It has like a little fin on the back, which adds to the realism, but it gives the fish something to grab and hold on to and rip off. Even though it's a Laztec, if you catch enough fish on this bait, especially pickerel, they will rip off that little tail. Now, it doesn't have a lot of thump. It's mostly just profile back there, but I like having that profile. It looks pretty real to me anyway, and the fish seem to like it too. You can try some other small trailers in that 3.5 to 4-inch range. I will say that the hook on it, I think it's a 2-aught hook, but it's a little bit small. And that might be because I'm using a 1/2 ounce head, and the head is just a little bit bigger head, and so there's not as much hook there. But it seems a little small, and if the fish aren't really going for it, they have a tendency to short strike it. Now, it's a small package overall. I just wish the hook was just a little bit bigger and a little bit longer. But I'm kind of nitpicking here. I'm catching fish one after another, and that's after they stopped hitting the full-size chatterbait. Here's a better look at it. You see the bluegill profile. The ChatterShad is in the deal color. I kind of like that color. It could be a bluegill, it could be a bait fish, it could be a lot of different things. The hot snakes color is another good one. If you notice your bluegill in your lake, they have a little bit more of like a chartreuse tail. That little hit of chartreuse on there sometimes can get more bites. I will say though that the pickerel like that color better too, so it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. You might end up catching more pickerel too. All right, that's it. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Just like all my other videos, I'll list all the gear in the video description so you can duplicate what I was doing out here. Hopefully have some good success wherever you might be fishing around the country or around the world. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!